Hi, I'm Dave Poles.
And I'm Danielle Lewis.
Welcome to our Community Conversations podcast.
In our series of conversations, we will be spotlighting individuals and organizations who are doing fantastic things in Peoria County.
We'll be highlighting who they are, what they do, where you can find them, and even how you can help.
In today's episode, we're speaking with John, who is the director of the ROE Adult Literacy Program. John, we're so excited to have you with us today. Do you mind starting us off by giving us a brief summary and explanation of the Adult Literacy Program?
Of course. The ROE has put together a program that was formerly called Upward up until probably 10 years ago, and then decided to make it a little more understandable and changed the name to ROE Adult Literacy. We've been in existence since 1983. I came on board about 2013 or 2014, somewhere in that range, and we've served the needs of our community. Our community includes Peoria, Woodford, and Marshall counties. And we're an affiliate of Pro Literacy, and we provide direct one-on-one tutoring service within our community. So we do provide services to all three of the counties that we have assigned to us, and we recruit and we train and match volunteer tutors with adults in need of literacy work. And that could be either basic literacy or English as a second language, or what more commonly now referred to English language learners. Since our inception over 40 years ago, we've helped hundreds of adults improve their reading skills or learn to read, and trained over 300 tutors over the years, many of which, a good handful, still remain with our program.
That's perfect. Full disclosure, I'm happy to be part of helping John, and it's been a great opportunity, and I just hoping and wishing a lot of people hear from this. So you kind of touched on this a little bit. What's really the core mission or goal? If you could put it into a brief, what are we trying to do here?
Well, what we're really trying to do and put it into a very small capsule is to help individuals who are 17 years and older, who have lower reading skills or no reading skills, or who come from another country and don't know the language. Well, we are here to help them transition and become good readers and help them with their fulfillment of their life skills and maybe their job skills. And so we provide one-on-one tutor training for that. So that's our goal. That's our audience. Those are the ones that we want to meet with, and we want to help with our program.
Absolutely. So like anything else, there's always things you try to overcome. If you could just explain, what's one of the biggest challenges to the mission of the Adult Lit program?
Well, it's like anything else, especially post-COVID, is getting the volunteers to come and train and become tutors. And we've been very fortunate in the past. We have a very giving community, as you well know, and we've had not too difficult a time getting tutors up until probably around 2015. We ran into a bump in the road, let's say, and we were not funded for a year. So we kind of got out of the business, kept the people who were in the business going with us, but we did lose some of the contacts in our community. When we were up and running again, we got going for about 3 years and started to see a bubble up of some interest again, and then we had COVID. So we are now coming back from that. One of the other problems that we've had is getting the word out to people who would like to help, because we have really no budget for advertising. What we have done is we've had to go to radio. We've had to, we're doing this podcast, which is awesome. And we would like to get some volunteers, not only the volunteers to help us tutor, but we'd also like to get the people who need the help that can maybe see and listen and hear what's going on and join our group. And it's not very difficult. And all of the materials are free. But one of the biggest stumbling blocks we've had is advertising and getting the word out that we're here and we could use the help.
So for those listening who want to help, what's the first thing they should do? And then once they're accepted to be a volunteer, what does that look like?
First of all, they've got to get a hold of me or Dave Poles, because he is one of my partners in this, as well as Dave Obergfell. So there are three of us. You can find all of our names on the ROE website, all of our contact information there. Look under adult literacy and you'll find a description of the program as well. What we do is we normally have people who volunteer, they want to come in. If you want to do that, you get a hold of us. We provide training through our pro literacy program. We also take people who have already been trained and we can put them to work because there is a training process through the state of Illinois. They can do that. We provide the training for free. We provide materials for free. If you are a former educator or you have a degree in education, we can streamline your training so that it can make it a little bit easier because you have a little experience, would be my guess. Most of the teachers that are coming are retired, or if they're actively teaching, they're already involved in doing very similar things. So we can streamline that process. So let us know that too. If you are interested in becoming a tutor and you're a former teacher, we can streamline that process and get you going right away. You don't have to be a teacher to be a tutor, though. That is not the case at all.
Anyone, because
anyone can do it.
You're getting taught the process of how to tutor.
That's what we'll do. What we do is we'll meet with you. We'll set up a time. We'll sit down. We'll go over our program, the dynamics of it. We will talk with you. We will show you how we do it, explain the whole program. I'll show you some videos, assign some videos for you to watch. And then once that process begins and once that's over, then you're ready to tutor. And then we will hopefully have somebody to match you with. And then you will set up your own date and time and place to meet.
So being a tutor is very flexible.
You're exactly right, because it becomes your program. We're there to help, but we're not saying you have to be here at 7 o'clock at night. We're not saying you have to be there at 10 o'clock in the morning. And all of our tutoring is off-site. It's not done at anybody's home. It's normally for it to be done at a library. Because the Secretary of State is the state librarian. He's the one that actually funds our programs. Okay. So, through grants. So we push that people meet in a public place. And I think that works best for most everybody. Plus, we also include a part where they take a lesson from the librarians and show them how to use the library and allow them to possibly, if they want to, they can get a library card.
I know there's 2 specific requirements for a learner, and I know you touched on those. Could you just real quick mention that so that we can discern between the other programs?
Of course, be glad to. Specifically for our learners, they must be 17 years of age or older and not currently be in public school.
Okay.
And I think that's a key point. Yeah.
Yes, and or a private school for that matter. If they are, however, at ICC and they're a part-time or full-time student there, and they need some help, we can offer that. But we can't offer to people who are still in high school.
So. Right. Okay. And thanks for mentioning it. Just if we could underscore that, because there are many programs out there. And John, your point is well taken, is that we can certainly work and link learners with another program, but ours has kind of some specific needs. And I think it exists to catch those who may or may not fall between the cracks, so to speak. One, if I can shameless plug here, one I've enjoyed, and quite honestly, the conversations that John, Dave, and I have had, reaching some of the corners, for lack of a better word, the previously unreachable corners of our community and Central Illinois, and going out and seeing some of these service agencies where literally there are people just wanting to better their lives, and they don't really meet the criteria. Certainly there's adult literacy programs in a lot of schools, colleges, service organizations, but ours is somewhat unique.
If I may add, Dave, here, one of the main differences between our program and most of the others in the state is that we are primarily a one-on-one tutor.
Yes, that's
so
good.
You have one learner, you have one tutor, and the two shall meet and do their work. And you don't have to worry, if you're a tutor, about having 5 or 6 people standing in front of or sitting in front of you that are all at different levels. That's hard enough for teachers to deal with, But tutors who may not have as much training as as we would like, but are doing the best that they can. It's a lot easier with a one-on-one, and you develop a relationship with that person, and you become. I know most of our tutors become pretty attached to our learners, and when they leave, there's a little bit of a disconnection that they feel. So that's something that's very different, and the fact that they set up their own times, whichever works best for the learner and the tutor.
So that's a good segue into one of the next points. We've talked. So let's say I'm sitting there, I'm listening to this, and I'm thinking, I've got some time. I really want to give back, that sort of thing. I contact you or either one of us on our website. The training we've established already, it's one-on-one. There's brand new materials. I mean, we get them to you and everything. So okay, but I travel with some commitments. What would something we'd ask a tutor? What would we ask of them as far as the length of commitment?
Fair question. Well, we've done some research, and it's very similar to what you would do in school. As you know, school runs on a 36-week year for the most part. Right. Okay. And I think that's by school code. Mm-hmm. We're not much different. We have found, well, not we, I'm not going to take credit for ProLiteracy, but ProLiteracy has found that 35 one-hour sessions over a period of a year can advance a learner's level of reading, or the reading level, a full year on average. There are some that will advance slower. There are some that will advance faster. But on average, we ask for 1 hour a week over a period of 35 weeks during the year, of which you decide which weeks and days those are. Because we know people are going to be ill. Mm-hmm. We know that people are going to miss because of work, and both tutors and learners. And we know that people are going to go on vacation. So 35 out of 52 weeks, that gives you quite a bit of room. But that's what we ask. But we're also not the tutor police. So we're not out checking times. But we would like for you to meet those needs. We check in with tutors every once in a while, say, hey, how are we doing? Do you need help? Do you need more materials? Normally, they're contacting us saying, hey, we got through this in 28 weeks. Can you send us more materials? Well, no, we're not going to do that. You got to wait 30. Just kidding. We'll get you whatever you need to make it work. And the materials that we have are all updated, top releases, and very well written for a tutor and a learner.
How do we start? Where do we start? How does that work?
That's a great question. I'm glad you brought it up, because it's something that you really need to know. And of course, this is part of our training. We will explain how all of this works. But in essence, what we do is we get together with a learner, and we call it a SORT test, S-O-R-T. Okay. And basically, it's a short test to assess their reading level, where they are today. And so we'll get all the information on the learner, their name, their address, where they live, their goals, what they want to do, why they want to a tutor, why they want to learn to read. Then we'll do the assessment, and we will take that assessment, find out what level the learner is. And we usually take anywhere between somebody who can't read a word or a letter for that matter, all the way up to a level 8, which in Educanese would be 8th grade. Okay. Beyond that, we can also teach, we also allow for citizenship review. We allow for GED review. Oh. We do rules of the road if we're asked to help there. So, but most of our focus is right now on ESL learners, because they're the ones that are taking advantage of this. Mm-hmm. And then they're also the ones that are, the basic language learners, and they're usually they want to get better at their level 7 or 8 so that they can get into their GED program. So that's kind of how we do that. We break that all down. We get that. We share that with the tutor. The tutor makes the contact with the learner. They set up their meeting times. We get them their materials to the library of their choice with their name on it, and they pick it up and they run with it. And so they're very well prepared by the time we get done with them, believe it or not.
Oh, yeah.
I have no doubts.
What do you wish people knew about our organization? And then how do they find out what's coming up? What can they look forward to?
Okay. Well, those are two good questions. And I wish they knew that we exist, first of all. There are some people that do, and the people that do take advantage of us like they're supposed to. Okay. So
And we
I
want to be
wish there
taken
were-
advantage of. Yes.
yes, we love being taken advantage of.
Yes.
At
Yeah,
least,
we like
at
being
least,
taken advantage of.
at least on the program level.
Yeah.
There are people out there that know we exist. A lot of good people in the healthcare industry that are keeping an eye on us and making sure that we're kept busy. We have churches that are available out there that know about our program, that send people to us. The first part of your question was, what do I wish? I wish
Yeah.
that everybody kind of knew what was going on so that they could say, hey, I'd like to volunteer, or hey, I know somebody that needs help.
Tutor training's coming up. How do we get involved?
We have trainings on Mondays at different times to try to accommodate different people. Well, maybe, Danielle, you could enlighten us on how to find that.
Yeah.
That
Right.
would help.
That was my next question too. It was actually a question to you, Danielle. So now that we're on that,
Mhm.
could you help us as people listening to this too? Hey, I'm excited. I want to do this. How do we find us?
PeoriaROE.org. If you scroll down past our banner, there's events. We tend to feature it in the news as well. So look in the news and the calendar.
Perfect. That helps out. I should have about 4 up there right now.
Mm-hmm.
Schedule them sporadically at different times to try to meet people's needs. And then I'll have some more in there for January once I get that all set up. And so, but what we ask of you is that if you're going to come to one of these events, that you pre-register by emailing me or texting me or any of the other fine gentlemen, Dave Poles, who is actually on the other screen there, or Dave Obergfell. Either one of us, all of our contact information is available on the ROE website. So that's probably the best way to get in touch with us. So
and please communicate that to the different organizations. Perhaps those listening might, if it's a church organization or a professional organization, and you're looking for ways to get out there and get involved. We're here, and we definitely look and need you too.
That's for sure.
Absolutely. What better way to help someone improve their quality of life?
That's where it all starts.
Oh, and I do want to mention one thing too. We have seen that every learner is highly motivated. It's not like they're there because they want to be there. Their stories are phenomenal. It's not at all. It's one-on-one. I want to emphasize that. So you're not ever put in a situation where it's uncomfortable. Our training will, and you might be thinking of a lot of questions. Our training, we handle all of that. And so even if you're remotely thinking of, I'll find out a little bit, please, get a hold of John, take a look at the website again, give it a try.
Yes.
We'd love to have.
Come to one of the trainings.
Mm-hmm.
If you like it, we'll continue. If you don't like it, you don't want to do it, you don't have to. And here's another thing. If we call you to say, hey, would you mind taking a learner, and it's not a good time for you, you can always say no. Mm-hmm. You can say no to us every time after we train you too, but the point being is you probably won't want to.
But
it's got to be a comfortable. I think that's the point I was thinking too. It's got to be a comfortable fit for both. And believe me, we would never put you in a situation where we don't want you tossing and turning over this type of thing. And then sometimes you may start, it may not fit. We'll try something else too. It's just it's got to be a mutually agreeable thing, and that's the beauty of this program. You're not in a situation you don't want to be.
I want to say one thing. This program was made possible by a grant awarded by the Illinois State Library, a division of the Office of the Secretary of State, using funds designated for literacy. And so there are 70-some grants out every year to the tune of many, many thousands of dollars to promote reading. And so that's what we're trying to do.
Well stated.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, John, for sharing more about the adult literacy program through the ROE. If you'd like to tutor or you know someone who could benefit from the program, please reach out to John or go to our website at PeoriaROE.org. You'll scroll down past the banner and find adult literacy.